Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at the 2015 BBURAGO catalog. This is BBURAGO's 40th anniversary, as they indicate on the catalog cover. BBURAGO is another budget diecast model car company up there with Maisto. If you guys want to see my review of the Maisto catalog, the link to that video is in the description below. That video ended up being pretty long. I wasn't sure how long it was going to go, but it took quite some time to cover all the material. So right off the bat on the cover of this 2015 BBURAGO catalog, we see the Lamborghini Huracan, which is Lamborghini's newest model. Looks pretty exciting. And we also have an introduction and table of contents here. They say that they are pleased to present us with the 2015 edition of the BBURAGO catalog. And now they've got the publication available in hard copy and electronic copy as well. I'm going to put the link to this catalog in the description below so that you guys can check it out. I really encourage you to. I'm going to go rather fast through a few things. I'm mainly focusing on scale 1/18, so I might brisk through like the motorcycle section or things like that. So I definitely encourage you guys to take a look at this for yourself. And this is also their 40th anniversary, as they indicate. So that's a pretty exciting occurrence there. We also have a 132 race series. So these are all F1 cars that BBURAGO is putting out, sponsored by, looks like, Red Bull, which is pretty interesting series if you're interested in F1. It's also available on 143 and 164, so it's pretty interesting. And a few kits here. Red Bull, looks like Red Bull is partnering with BBURAGO to put out some new products. And it looks like some aircraft as well, small scale aircraft, also sponsored by Red Bull, which is interesting. Here we go. So scale 1/18 BBURAGO. Right off the bat, it looks like we got a fairly new and exciting Bugatti right there. An old model, but it looks like they're bringing it back with a new racing paint job and decal work as well. Up here we have the Bentleys. These are existing models that have been out for some time. But there we have that Bugatti EB110 Super Sports. This is from 1994. And it's a new variation. The model itself is actually very old. And I actually have the model and have reviewed it on this channel. So I'll also put that video link below for you guys to check out. And we have right there some Lamborghinis, the Aventador and Huracan. Pardon my pronunciation, it's probably wrong. But there's the Huracan right there, which they have available in yellow, green, white, and silver. I would go for the white or silver, honestly. But one thing I noticed is that it looks like they're not introducing any form of suspension with these models, and that's kind of been a long time thing with BBURAGO is lack of suspension. They just don't offer it, which can be a blessing in disguise in some respects. I've seen model cars where they, particularly with Maistos, they put a poor, I'd say Erdl. They put poor suspension in the models, and it might just come with a really loose suspension or something like that, and the wheels don't fit straight. They're sort of protruding at the bottom. They're just not fitting really well at all. So that's sort of a, I could take it or leave it, but it's not a deal breaker for me whether or not the models have suspension. It's just something that a lot of people like, and I think it adds some degree of realism. Up here we have a Fiat Abarth 500, which is an existing model. You also have an Alfa Romeo 8C 2300 Spider, 1932 touring car up there as well. We have an Alfa 8C right there, Audi TTRS, some BMWs, and these are just all, for the most part, existing models that BBURAGO has produced. They either brought them, in last year, or they've been producing these for years and years. This Bugatti right here, the model I have of that, I've had for probably 14 to 15 years. So that's definitely an old BBURAGO model right there. Okay, here we have that Bugatti EB110 again with just a plain red paint job. Mine is yellow. I've seen it in blue before, kind of a sort of light blue. So they are offering it without the racing stripes and whatnot. Interesting Bugatti Type 59 right there. That's kind of an interesting model. Chevrolet Corvette, Citroen, Dodge Viper RT10, some little Fiats there, a couple variations, those are kind of fun, and a couple Lamborghinis just kind of thrown in here away from the other Lamborghinis we just saw, Murcielago and Gallardo. There's a Lancia, interesting car there, Jeep Wrangler, some nice Jaguar E-types. Definitely the real ones are collectibles now. And a Jaguar Mark II, as well as another Fiat. So these are all models that we've seen already, except for the Lancia. The Lancia is brand new, and that's kind of an interesting little car. Available in red only. Up here we have some more classic Lamborghinis, notably the Countach, Diablo, and Mira. These are all iconic classic Lamborghinis, and another Murcielago Roadster just thrown in there. Maserati, Range Rover, another Maserati, and a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. I used to actually have that model years ago when I was a kid, and unfortunately I think it got ripped up and maybe sold at a yard sale or something, but yeah, I have one of those that's long gone. It was actually convertible, so it was a touring model, just like that one, and it was also made by BBURAGO. We've got a Mini Cooper, a Morgan Aero 8. Morgans are interesting. If you haven't heard of that car company, definitely check it out. It's pretty interesting. They've got a Mini Cooper there from 1969. Pretty nice Nissan GTR. I guess you pronounce that Pugo? That almost looks like a concept. I'm not sure if that ever made production. And some old Porsches down there from 1961. 356B cabriolets. And up here we've got more Porsches, so 911 Turbo, 911 Carrera 4, GT3, and then we've got some other just sort of miscellaneous cars, Volkswagen Beetle, an old 55 Beetle, that's a pretty fun looking car, Smart Roadster, Volkswagen Touareg, and a Renault right there. So just sort of existing models that we've seen before. Not much new in this catalog. Next up we have scale 124. Now these models are slightly different. I think, yeah, this one, for example, this BBURAGO Bugatti right here is available in blue, only in scale 124, and it looks like an interesting racing Bentley there. So when it comes to budget model car companies, I really suggest looking at scale 124, even if you are a 118 scale model collector. Like myself, I've kind of started to branch out to 124 because sometimes you can find some cars that aren't normally available in scale 118 in the 124 scale section, so it's definitely worth checking out. We've got some existing cars here: Alfa Romeo, Audi, Jaguar XKRS, Benton, Murcielago, Sesto Elemento, which is not available in 118, so there you go. Lancia, not available in 118. Lancia Delta HF, not available in 118. And then a new Maserati MC12, which is available in this slightly off-colored orange with a black stripe. That is definitely a unique model. Based on the picture, it looks like we're looking at just a image of a real car. They don't have an image of the model yet, so we'll have to see about quality. So Lotus Evora, some Mercedes cars, Porsches, 918 Spider, that's definitely new, and a McLaren MP412C that's been out for a while. And 124 Plus, a new Porsche Macan, I'd say that's how you pronounce that. 124 Race Series, so some race vehicles there. More race vehicles, including another MC12 with a different paint job and decal work, and another Porsche 918 with race livery on it, and a Bentley Continental GT3, that's the one we saw on the cover, and then that Bugatti EB110 there that's also available in 118 is in the 124 section. And we've got a lot of the same here, just more generic models available in 124. There's a BMW X5, Series 3 touring car. Oh, a few nice little classics here, Bugatti, Citroen, Dodge Viper, pretty cool, and Fiats, so lots of Fiats, a lot of foreign, I would say European cars being produced by BBURAGO, which is interesting. Some of these cars, the Fiats now are available in the United States, and they have been for some time, but you really don't see, other than from collectors, like these classic cars, the Citroens, the new ones you really don't see in the United States. You don't really see some of the Renaults here in the United States either. There's a Jeep Wrangler right there. It's got some big tires on it. And some more classic Lamborghinis and, 2000s Lamborghinis. And some more vehicles here. Lexus IS350, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. Land Rover. A couple of Land Rovers and Range Rovers. Maserati Gran Turismo. And a Mazda MX-5 Miata. It's fun. I like the Miata. You can't go wrong with that. It's definitely a very long-running sports car. It's been out since the early 90s. It's been out for a long time. Some more Mini Coopers, Porsches, Alpine Renault right there. That's kind of cool. Volkswagens, Volvo, more Renaults. So these you don't really see in the United States. They're pretty unique to Europe. And then 132, so these are just racing series cars. I'm just going to brisk through this really fast because I'm not a 132 model car collector really at all. So BMW from 1972, that looks pretty nice. I'd love to see that 118, that would be fantastic. Mercedes-Benz down there. Very good. And some kit cars here, 124 scale kit cars. In terms of 124 scale cars by BBURAGO, I really can't say I'd recommend them based on quality. I just think BBURAGO doesn't have the best quality in terms of their 118 cars as is. So the smaller the scale, typically the less detail you're going to get, and you're going to get some pretty major quality issues there. So we've got, kind of like Maisto, motorcycles, emergency equipment, play sets, and whatnot. And then that's it. There's a nice little index they put back here. So, yeah, so that's just a quick look at the 2015 BBURAGO catalog. If you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to post in the comments section below, and check out this catalog in the description below. The link is provided. Definitely worth looking at and taking note of.